Welcome to my messy life. Take my hand and dive right on in with me. It's gonna be alright. Messy imperfect life with Leigh.
Hello, Daniel Nahmod.
Hello.
So Daniel's on the podcast today because I went to my Spirit-filled church and I sat in the audience and I saw a fellow up there strumming his guitar with joy in his heart and singing a song about his son, I believe. And I got a little teary-eyed and I got excited. And then after I went to his stand
Yes.
and said, I like your music, can I have that one song?
I said no.
You're right. Why?
Because it wasn't released yet.
He made me buy another DVD.
No.
But he said...
Made you a little strong. Probably encouraged it subliminally. Maybe use some hypnosis. But no.
You're like, well, why don't you buy this one? And that other one will come out soon. And I was like, well, I just want the other song.
Yes.
But I'll buy it.
That was generous of you. Thank you.
And then...
Thank you. Yes.
When I was walking back to the car, I had taken Eve that day. And Eve said, oh, you had a bunch of jewelry that was high-end, beautiful jewelry with you.
My
said,
wife makes.
That's your wife's.
Can I say her name?
Yeah.
Jewelry by Melina.
And she's on Etsy, right?
Jewelry by Melina, Etsy.com. That's right.
All right. And
So
any
yeah, I
proceeds
travel
from this,
I travel with my music and I travel with her jewelry when I go perform.
which is sweet, supporting her. So my daughter Eve is looking. She picks something up and goes, can I have this? It's like a dragonfly. I think it was like, I'm going to make up a number, and it probably wasn't like $700. I mean, I just saw something.
It's not so. Yeah.
And I was like, what? Put that back. Don't touch that again. That's too much. And then she's like, okay. And she's futzing around. I'm talking to you. I just really liked
Yeah.
your vibe and
I
everything.
like talking to you too.
And then I said, well, see you later. I look forward to hearing that song when it comes out. And then I'm walking away and Eve goes, oh, Mom, I accidentally took this. And she has a sapphire ring on her finger. And I take it off and it was $450. What, does that sound about right?
Yes, it was very nice of you to return it.
I know. She goes, I
Yes.
accidentally walked away with this ring on. I said, well, accidentally take your ass back to that young man and give it back to him.
My 7-year-old accidentally takes lollipops every so often. and we have a little talk about that kind of accident where you accidentally end up in jail years later. So yes.
My son Sergeant is 13 now, but I remember when he was 1 or 2, he used to just shop in my room like a kleptomaniac.
Nice.
And he would just look for anything shiny. And I'd be like, Sergeant, you can't touch anything in my bedroom. Everything in here is off limits. You can go play with anything else in the house. So my nanny at the time took Sergeant to the park, and they were playing in the sand, and she was cleaning up after like 4 hours at the park.
At the park. Well, that's a long time.
Cleaning stuff up, and she sees something kind of shimmering through the sand as she's packing up sand toys.
Yes.
And she reached her hand, and it was one of my like diamond rings. I was like...
Did you take inventory later? Because it's great that she spotted the one.
I know.
Was there any chance there was another one?
I said one of my diamond rings. I only have one, and that was
You only
my
had
wedding
one,
ring.
okay.
So that was on. So it was something else like somebody bought me that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't not like a huge thing,
okay.
but still, it was a nice ring in the sand. Yeah, so it was neat to see my daughter following his footsteps with your wife's jewelry.
It's beautiful. It's like a legacy. It's something to be proud of, something to cherish. It's exactly what the song was about, right? It was about my son learning to steal. I think that might even be the title of it.
Do you know what that song was?
Yes, it was not called Learning to Steal.
No, what was it called?
It was called Kind Child.
Okay, so I'm going to have him play right now, if you will.
Sing the song?
Yeah, in a second. But the thing is I go to that church, and sometimes people get up and sing, and they're like, "Oh, they're interesting." You know, I think like maybe they're trying too hard to be jazzy, and they're doing like sexy moves.
Yes.
And I'm watching, going, instead of judging or I'm trying to stay in the moment to hear the words, to see what I can get from the words. So sometimes I have that experience. Sometimes the people are so amazing that I'm jumping up and clapping and singing along. And with yours, it was kind of like I was watching someone similar to James Taylor, where it's just playing the guitar and singing really beautiful words. But it wasn't like a big show or anything, but it was captivating. And I was listening to the words, and I remember that they made me teary-eyed. And it was something so sweet.
Thank you. You know, actually, you noticed a lot of things like consciously that most people don't notice. I mean it as a compliment because there are a lot of things I'm doing and a lot of things I'm not doing when I'm singing that kind of song. When I do my job, which is to write it and then sing it, I'm doing a lot of things on purpose because there's a certain thing I'm specifically personally trying to do, which most people in a musical performing life aren't always trying to do. I'm actually, I know that I come across as this Brad Pitt sex symbol figure, with the six pack and the full head of hair and
that's why I was
spectacular
initially
charisma and the surprising height. I know
that's why I was originally attracted to
I know it's like oh my God, look at that man.
Yes.
But what I'm really trying to do is facilitate a feeling. And one of the nicest compliments I get, I've been doing this 20-something years singing songs, my own songs. And one of the nicest compliments I get, it seems like a very simple observation that usually a senior citizen will make the observation. Daniel, I want to thank you. I could understand every word you just sang. And I say, that was exactly the point. And I'll tell bands to be quiet. I'll tell sound people to brighten my voice more than they might, so that the thing I'm attempting to communicate comes across. And it's for those of you you're listening and you're not looking, I am not a sex symbol. There's nothing about what I describe myself as that's true. None of it whatsoever is true. So I have no.
You are cute.
Nah, thank you. Thank you.
Maybe it's just because I've seen you sing and
I have no shtick. That's the thing. My shtick, if I have a shtick, everybody, performers have a thing, right? Coldplay had the wild, crazy colors on the stage and, they painted their piano and everybody's got Rod Stewart had the tight sequined pants. Everybody's got a thing. If I have a thing after 20 years, it's that I have no thing. That's my thing. I get up on stage. I'm exactly the way I just was talking to somebody in the audience. And I just want you to, I would like to share a song with you. I mean, this sounds pretentious. Hopefully it sounds the opposite of pretentious. You picked up on exactly the thing that I was attempting to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can draw.
To communicate a beautiful message.
That's it. Just a thought.
To touch your heart.
A feeling.
A feeling. With not a lot of trying
no showbiz.
Yeah, no showbiz.
No showbiz.
Just delivering the goods.
Which, by the way, is not great for a career.
I mean, it's worked for some people.
Well, who?
I mean, all I can think of is James Taylor.
Well, okay. First of all, I love any comparison to anybody talented. Love James Taylor. But he came up at a time when man or woman with guitar and pretty voice, that was right in the pocket of popular culture.
Right.
So he could have hit songs doing what I did that day.
Right.
Very hard to imagine Fire and Rain being a hit song now.
That's true.
Right? It's much sweeter and more intimate and more personal than what Ed Sheeran approaches it sometimes.
Yeah.
Every so often somebody approaches it.
But they still have a little hip hop thing going on.
Yes. And James Taylor, it's hard to picture him using a beat, using a looper.
Well, yeah, because if I put James Taylor on in the car, they're like, "Oh, Mom, can't we listen to real music?"
Right.
Yeah. Or we have to listen to old people music.
And it is show business and it is entertainment. So as much as I say I intend it to be entirely unpretentious and with no shtick whatsoever, you know what I mean? Like no show, no costumes. I don't have patter that I use at the same show. I sing the songs differently every time. I mean, it is in fact just me, just singing a song, but I am in show business, or at least I should have been or could have been, or, in some way I am. 20 years, I've sold a lot of records. I mean, as an indie guy, but it would have behooved me along the way to polish my act a tiny bit. And maybe I'm stubborn. I mean, maybe I'm stubborn. I don't know. I can't actually identify.
Do you have another job?
No. 20 years I've been singing songs.
So
you're sitting with the last successful independent artist who sold records to support his family. I'm the guy. I'm it.
Oh my
Very
gracious.
few people do it. I mean, I haven't made $1 million from it.
Yeah.
I married a house. I married a wife who owned a home. Otherwise, the bank once looked at my papers and said, "Yeah, no, we're not. We're not giving you a mortgage.
You can help with the."
Yeah, right. So I'm I've done this.
But what does that mean that it would have behooved you to polish your act? You mean to try to make it more, to get more abundance, kind of to up level it?
Yes, because quality takes discipline, and success is not an accident.
No, hell no.
Success is not an accident. I can listen to the radio and tremble with contempt for some of the emotions that are communicated, some of the stupidity of the lyrics and so on. But even if I'm thinking, Jesus, that's the best line you could come up with. Even if I'm thinking that, at no point am I thinking they didn't deserve to be on the radio. No. Because I know that 75 people, 75 people at the tops of their games got that song on the radio.
Yeah.
The producer, the engineer, the drummer, the drum programmer, the people who made the samples for the synthesizer, everybody at the top of their game, the publicist, the promoter, the label, everybody, the photographer everybody worked
their ass
for a lifetime
for years
to reach, to associate with that terrible song that sounds perfect. Just the sounding perfect is a thing that is very difficult to achieve, right?
Right.
So anyway, and I've never done that. Instead, I've done what you saw, which moves rooms, but it doesn't.
Yeah, because I saw that you performed for Marianne Williamson and Deepak Chopra and
yes, yes, I've worked,
and around the globe, right?
A bit, mostly in the United States and Canada.
And that's the globe.
Sure, it's really not. It's really not the globe. My songs are sung around the world. That I do know, and the random reason I know is because I sell songbooks of my music because the music is singable. It's not.
Will you right now? Will you pull out your sweet little guitar next to you, and will you just play? I don't know if I want the whole song, but will you just play some of the song? Yeah, about your son, because I have 5 kids. I thought it was precious.
Thank you. And it's I don't know how the mic needs to be positioned, but yeah, I can sing you that. This is a new song.
It's not out yet.
In theory, it's out in a week.
But if you want it, you have to buy the other CD first.
Buy something else. Right. What you ought to do is buy an album that doesn't have the following song. That's what you ought to do.
Roll your boat.
Do you sing, by the way?
Not really.
You sang a little bit outside. It sounded good.
I just kind of play. I guess I should say yes to everything. Yes, I sing.
Well, most people do. Even if they don't acknowledge that they do, you know what I mean?
I have singers in my family, and they were really good. I had the worst voice, and so everyone always laughed at me. Yeah. So I don't like to sing.
That was good for the self-esteem.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then other people are like, you have a good voice. I'm like, oh, no, I don't. You should hear my siblings. They're like, no, you have a good voice.
Yeah.
So, it's just interesting. What gets planted in our little heads when we're young.
Because no kindergartner wonders if they sing well.
No, they're just all off tune.
And they just sing. It's like they learning to ski. I always think, a 40-year-old learns to ski, and at every moment they're aware they could die. Yeah. And they're under the assumption that someone's watching them, such that if they fall, it's humiliating. Whereas a 6-year-old learns to ski, like, sure, what the hell, let's go. And
that's right.
And a 6-year-old learns to ski probably 10 times faster than a 40-year-old because of that. And a 6-year-old will learn to sing something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's such freedom in being a kid because we're not shamed or embarrassed or anything yet. We just do what we want.
Hopefully.
Well, that comes.
It comes.
So by the time we're older, we don't think we can do that anymore.
That's right. Yeah, we're watching our boy. When we know Jude is now the song inspired by a moment with my boy, and he's almost 8, and we're always watching to see. Sounds such a sad sentence to say, but like we're watching to. Knowing that the innocence will slip away, that unjadedness will slip away and leave defensiveness or embarrassment or shame or, like I sometimes, I give talks sometimes and one of the talks I gave a few times is called The World According to Jude. And in The World According to Jude, I can give you 10 examples, 20 examples, but one of them is In the world according to Jude, looking in the mirror is not an opportunity for self-loathing. He just looks in the mirror. He just sees himself.
Right.
And if you ask 1,000 adults in an audience, how many of you can look in a mirror without feeling a single negative thing about yourself? Not a single hand will go up. Everybody's got a judgment and a shame about something.
Yeah.
A nose, a wrinkle, a hair, a belly, a boob, or whatever it is.
Right.
Jude looks in the mirror. Not one time he looked in the mirror and said, I've got a big head. That was the closest he's come to a negative thought about his
That was just an observation. That wasn't negative.
Yeah. I was like,
he didn't say my head was too big. He just said, I got a big ass head.
He didn't say too big.
That was just an observation.
Right. So that's an amazing way to live, and it's unrealistic. No grown-up is going to land there. But we can allow ourselves to get closer back to our original fun and playfulness. Yeah. Right? We can dabble in it even.
Yeah.
And, anyway, so this is a song inspired by a true moment.
This is a song that caught my attention, why he's sitting here right now.
Thank you for having me. Lately I've been thinking about what motivates me to give a couple dollars to a stranger on the street, to hold the door, carry groceries, help a neighbor in need. When history repeats itself in headlines every day, solutions never big enough for problems that we face. As a man, as a dad, what difference can I make? 'Cause I know better than to think I'll be remembered for a favor or a quarter or a smile. Oh, but maybe before I return to sender, I can do one thing worthwhile. So I'm gonna try to raise a kind child. Sure would help if our boy went and got an MBA and took care of his artist mom and dad and their old age. But let's face it, Wall Street probably isn't in his DNA. But when his first grade teacher said she wanted us to know, it's Jude who always comforts any kid who sits alone. There's just so much pride my heart can take. My retirement can wait. Cause I know better than to think I'll be remembered for a fortune or a pension or a prize. Oh, but maybe before I return to sender, I'll have done one thing worthwhile. So I'm gonna try to raise a kind child. I don't want him to think the world is his to save. It's too much pressure anyway, it can't be done. I don't want him to think he has to be a saint, 'cause the truth is saints don't have any fun. Mostly I just hope my boy will come to understand no 401k or GPA can make a happy man. It's having roots, doing good, helping out where you can. So have some roots, do some good, take somebody's hand. you'll know better than most what really matters, what makes living this life worthwhile. And there may come a day your own kids will remember how their granddad used to say with a smile that he raised. We raised a kind child.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful. Do you sometimes cry when you sing that?
Yeah, well, yes. When a song is new, especially, there are certain songs that are very
tender,
emotional, and personal, and I'm not a part of the maybe the principal benefit of not having shtick, of not being an act where I have a set list and patter that I'm scripted to say, is that I can mean it as I'm singing it. In other words, and I'll skip a song in a concert if I'm not feeling it because, right? So if I mean it, and I mean it like I mean every line, like I'm thinking about it as I'm singing it. And yes, so that song, the last line, when you do receive this apocryphal album, which you didn't get that day.
Wait, I want to talk about the song.
You'll hear that I was emotional at the end of it when I'm recording it. It's not me. It's not doing like Michael Jackson with "She's Out of My Life."
Yeah.
She's out of my. You can hear him like sniffling. Maybe he was feeling it, but I don't know. I'll never know. But if it sounds like I'm emotional at the end,
well, I want to talk about this song.
Yeah.
Because as a mother of 5, and I have kids all over the place with their. Some have issues and some don't, and some are good at this, and just all over the place. And that line about the MBA or Wall Street's not in their DNA.
Yeah.
And the thing about being saints, it's no fun.
Yeah.
But I just it made me cry because that's how I feel. All I care about is that my kids are kind and that they know who they are.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the goal of life. And the rest of it, I'm not a big, huge fan of our education system because you sit down, you memorize somebody else's words. The best memorizer wins.
Yeah.
The best memorizer gets into the best college where they memorize more.
Yeah.
And nothing is about who you are or what lights you up. What is your passion? What's your heart's desire?
There's no class in 5th grade about what you love most to do, and let's figure out how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, that does not seem to happen.
No, everything else except that happens. And I think that so I always tell my kids, I say, be respectful.
Yeah.
Learn stuff.
Learn how to think, how to question.
And I said, but other than that, know who you are, know what lights you up, know what excites you, know what turns you off, know what hurts your heart. Start being aware of that stuff because that's really why I think we're here, is to do what brings us joy and to be of service.
Yeah.
And service is as simple as you said, taking someone's hand. Right? That was a line at the end or something? Yeah. So I love that song so much because I think, especially for parents, we're so driven by getting them on the right teams and the right school and the right this and the right activities and driving our ass off and doing this.
None of it is a ticket to happiness.
None of it.
No.
None.
No, not actual happiness. I mean, it's nice to take a vacation. It's nice to fly business class. It's nice to have
I like to have the perks.
Sheets, right.
Yes, I like that.
But they're not actual happiness.
No.
It's fleeting stuff. Right? It is. It's fleeting stuff. It's not. That's not actual happiness. Happiness is like for me at the moment is I come out in our living room and I sit on the couch and I'm usually up first, and then my boy wakes up and he comes out with his messy hair and his stinky breath, and he's either naked or almost naked, and he comes out, and we have a new puppy we just adopted 6 months ago. So he comes out of his room, the puppy comes out of the room, they both jump all over me on the couch, and he's still half asleep, and the puppy wants to lick my face, and I'm just laying there, and that's happiness.
Yeah.
None of it has to do with calculus or or a GPA or what's in my 401k of blessed memory,
Yeah.
So, right.
And I'm even getting to the point where happiness is internal, where anyone licking my face or jumping on me, kissing me is adding to my love bank.
Yeah. Okay.
That is already full.
Yeah.
Because I'm realizing that everything is impermanent. Everything. So nothing lasts.
Yeah.
Like that won't happen forever. It'll be something
that's
different, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm really learning to be in joy and in love and within myself. So then when my kids do things that are precious, it's just adding
You
to
can take it in.
my bucket of love. It's filling me more, but I'm good regardless of what's happening outside of me. I don't know. It's just interesting.
I knew a therapist who said, you give from a full cup, not an empty one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Fill yours first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fill yourself up with so much love that it can bubble out onto those around you.
In fact, you want to know a little secret performing thing that I did. I've done always, but only it took me a few years to realize the reason behind it. I will frequently not, even in a concert, I'll avoid applause. It's even a little bit compulsive. Like I'll segue straight from a song to a next song.
Why?
Partly because I'd rather they just have the feeling they're having and not try to give something back to me because it's not about me.
Wait a second. I need to stop you.
Yeah.
Because everything is a give. It's a give and take. It's a flow. It's a receive and give.
I know.
So when you're trying to control their reaction,
No.
it's stifling.
Yes.
It's stifling the audience.
Yes.
So you're like
It's
this,
not-
like,
I didn't say it's ideal.
yeah. But it just want you to know that when I hear you,
Yes.
I want to say, thank you, damn right.
Yeah.
I want to celebrate that moment with you.
There's the other. Thank you. I understand. I hear you. And
Yeah.
the other thing is that I will most of the time. This might sound weird.
Everything does.
I will most of the time tell myself good job before I turn to the audience.
Oh, that's great.
And the reason I do that is if I were to depend on a room full of strangers for approval or value, this job would be untenable.
Yes.
So I will literally tell myself that I did the best I could before I ask a room who doesn't know. Before I ask them to approve of me, I approve of myself.
That's
And
beautiful.
that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's
I've always
beautiful.
done
And
that,
that's
always
not
done
weird
that.
at all.
It's a little.
That's like, no, it's like I always started the day saying, I've got you. I'm here for you.
Yeah, that's nice.
I
thing
love
to do,
you
yeah.
and I'm listening. What do you need from me today?
Yeah.
To all parts of me. So I love that. I've got my back,
Yeah.
And it's really,
I say good job.
Yes.
Like if you watch me closely, you'll sometimes see my mouth move. Good job. Or
and I would think, did he just belch because he had a
that's
Pepsi?
how you do that. Right.
Or
One time.
He was telling me earlier that one time he took a carbonated beverage on
Pepsi.
stage.
I took a Pepsi on stage. I thought this will be fun. Sugar and caffeine. What could possibly go wrong? And I was burping the rest of the show.
In
I was
the first song, he ripped him.
the entire. No, not. I'm going to go ahead and guess that it was not audible. But
Let me just say that it was a
for
rip to burp because body noises make me laugh so hard, like I'm a child still.
I don't think people heard me.
No.
They probably were wondering why I kept looking away from the mic in the middle of lines.
So he must have a tick because he's kind of body moving.
Yeah, that was pretty awkward. That bubbly thing that did not work.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. So I'm glad you liked the song. It's a true story because we actually got a phone call from my boy's teacher, who said, "I want you to know that your boy is the kindest boy in class, and he's looking out for everybody." She said, when somebody can't find the crayon color they're looking for, he goes looking for it. When somebody doesn't know where the bathroom is, he walks into the bathroom. And specifically, he spoke up for a kid in his class who didn't speak English, who was fresh from Asia and didn't speak a word of English, and had really had a hard time. Obviously, didn't understand instructions. 6 years old in a new country, didn't know the language, doesn't know anybody.
Like really a horrible way to
launch your academic career. So the teacher, yes. So teacher read a book to the class, and when she finished, she told us on the phone. Jude raised his hand and said, "I think he did such a nice job listening that he should get an extra point today."
Oh.
And I told my boy, and it reminded me of my bubby, my dad's mom, who lived to 98. and it was the youngest of 13 kids.
Wow.
All who emigrated together with their parents at the turn of the 20th century. And my Bubby was a very funny, sharp, tough little woman. Little meaning like 4 feet tall.
Right.
And the youngest of 13, and never had extra money, never had never any particular recognition. She just toughed it out and did it, raised 2 boys, one of whom died in the Navy, my uncle, who I never met. And the other son, the older son, was my dad, is my dad. And, but she arrived in the United States not speaking a word of English and started in kindergarten not speaking any English, Polish only, or Yiddish. Actually, I never thought about it, but I don't know if she even spoke Polish. For sure, Yiddish, right?
Yeah.
And she was bragging about, on her deathbed, I visited her on her deathbed at 98. She was still proud of the fact that in 2nd grade she had won the spelling bee.
Oh.
So 2 years later, she was the best speller in her class, and she held on to that with pride.
Oh, I was like, why does that
mean?
mean
No English
to
the best speller in the class 2 years later. For 90 years, she was proud of that achievement. And I told my boy, I said, that boy, he may be the smartest kid in the class. He may be the funniest. He may be the kindest. He may be the most inventive. He may be the most creative. He may be the best. You don't know him, and nobody knows him yet. But to say his name out loud with kindness, and to have the teacher smile at him, and to have the whole class look at him and smile, it might have been the first time in this country that he felt approved, and he probably didn't understand what you said, and it didn't matter.
He just felt the energy of love.
You're right, because what you do now can plant a seed that can last a lifetime, and your great-grandmother is an example of that. If somebody may have spoken up on behalf of little Betty, my grandmother.
Yeah.
Somebody reached out a hand. Somebody helped her learn English such that it was a point of pride for the rest of her life. This little woman who I don't even know if she finished high school,
There have been times with my kids, and my oldest is 20, so I've gotten stories over the years.
Yeah.
But I just remember that there were, in one of my daughter's classes, a gay student, and he came out to my daughter because he felt so safe with her. And she held that space for him. And I was like, Mark, you have no idea how beautiful that is, that you create a safe space for someone, and they know that you're safe and loving, that they can share, and then you hold that with them, and that's what it is. It doesn't go anywhere. That's so beautiful. Or my other daughter, recently this year, there's a lot of divide going on in the class, and one person in particular.
Divide, like clique stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just divide and kind of being jerks to each other. And the group went there, and without saying a word, my daughter just stood up and went to sit with the person who was alone and ate with her and sat with her. And
I love that. That's courage.
I went
and kindness.
Yeah, and I went the next day to some walkathon or something, and 3 teachers came up and said, I need to talk to you. And of course, I've got some rambunctious kids too. I thought, oh no, who's done what now? And let me just remain neutral and listen. Yeah. And they said, we just need to tell you how beautiful this was for us to witness when someone was struggling so hard and everyone was piled up, that one person broke and just took care. And it was so beautiful. And I was like, it's that just like your song, that's what touches my heart.
Did you cry when you were told that?
Probably. I cry a lot.
Yeah, I'm the crier in the family too. My wife was like, oh God, you're crying again.
When we got that phone call, I cried.
Yeah.
Because that's, and that's why I asked, do you cry when you sing the song? Because I did a one-woman show years ago, and at specific points I would tell a story, about when I was young, and then I would kind of act it out, whatever, but I would always cry. And people are like, oh, wow, she hasn't worked through it. And I said, no, it's so tender to my heart. And the compassion I have for my younger self to endure that or to have to navigate that, it just touches me every time with tenderness. Or, when I tell stories about my kids, it's the tenderness of it. It's not. So I just wondered, when you sing those songs and it's about someone you love, I think I would probably cry every time because it's so beautiful to my heart.
I truly break my own heart all the time singing the songs.
Precious songs.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a song called Last Song. If this is my last song, what do I want to say? That kind of thing.
Is that the one that you sent me a copy of? No, you sent me one about love.
You mean the CD you took home?
No, you said something you wanted to play today.
Oh, Sing About Love. That's the new song.
Is that the one you're talking about right now? Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me about the other one.
Yeah, last song. Well, there's just a line in there. So just some context of the lyrics. Is the world a little more peaceful? Are oceans and sky a little more blue? Just this. Do
you have to sing it? Do you
sing
it?
Almost.
Sing
Yeah.
Not with your guitar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because it's actually a piano song much more than guitar. So
it is?
I was trying to figure out.
Can you play piano?
Yeah, I'm a pianist more than a guitarist. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, piano is my favorite. Like I'm in love with Billy Joel.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Good taste. Yes. Yes.
I can't take it.
Yes.
He's my favorite.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Anyway, so the song says, "Ocean." You
can do it with your guitar.
Is humankind a little bit?
Do it with your guitar.
Well, I'll sing you just the chorus.
Yeah, sing the chorus with your guitar.
Just to get to this line that you're asking me about emotional impact of a line.
And before you do this line, I just want to say when I read a little bit about you, you sing just to spread love.
Yeah, it's true. I do. Yes, it is. It's what that song I sent you is about, and it is what my family story is about.
Well, it's what we're all really are, as we are love, because we are of God and God is love. And that's the thread that binds us and connects to us and lets us experience tenderness and see each other in a different way. And I think that's my whole thing is I just do what I do to spread love, to be a love spreader. And you're doing it with your words, and I'm doing it with sharing my vulnerability of my stories and stuff like that.
I understand, yeah.
But however, I think it's just freaking amazing that if everyone was using their gifts to be spreading around the love,
it'd be a very different world.
Oh my, we'd all be fulfilled too, feeling damn good.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's one of the painful things about having our little boy is when he encounters the opposite of that. Like, for example, Daddy, apologies to everybody who's listening who smokes, but Daddy, if people know that cigarettes hurt you, why does anybody sell them? Right? Why would somebody sell you a cigarette if they know it hurts you? And I'm like, because they have to support their family?
Because it's big business?
I mean, because it's business, because everybody's doing the best they can. I mean, what do you say? But we haven't even gotten to all the other ways that people are not, using what they do for loving purposes. I mean, you don't want the world to be, a Hallmark Hall of Fame special. You know what I mean?
But that's not what love is. Love is taking someone's hand or listening while they're hurting, or
not beating up on somebody, not in right. Yeah. Being a little more patient, a little more kind. Anyway, all right. So all I was going to do was this. So this is a song called "Last Song," and the chorus, the second chorus, goes like this: Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller 'cause of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time? But that line,
I love it.
Thanks. It's
That's the sweetness of life, right there.
Yeah, a little bit of good, a little bit of good, rather than, of course, having the grand ambition to win the Nobel Prize.
Yeah,
in kindness.
just do your part.
Because winning the Nobel Prize in kindness, trying that is going to exhaust you.
Yeah,
but doing a little thing,
bit every day, something kind.
Yeah. Anyway, so that line, does a child stand a little bit taller because of something that I said? That line, when I first wrote it, I didn't have Jude, so I had my nieces, so I would think of them, or a kid that I had just met at a gig that I said something nice to about their shoes, or whatever it was, or their smile, or made them laugh. And then when I had my boy, all of a sudden that line becomes about my boy, and because I'm meaning it as I'm singing it, I mean, I am in fact literally breaking my own heart as I'm, and then of course, you'll understand this too, is when I wrote that song, I hadn't met my wife, didn't have my baby, and didn't have the dog, and I could sing a song that says, if this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? I could just say that as a philosophical question, but now a part of me is thinking, please God, let this not be my last day. Because I'm sometimes singing it in North Carolina, and then I'm getting on a plane 5 hours later to fly 12 hours home, you know what I mean? Or I'm about to drive 3 hours in the mountains to the next gig or whatever it is. And my wife is always like, drive carefully. And then I'm singing a song.
If this is my
last song. And I'm like, it would make a good like biopic years later. But let's not have this be the song that closes the movie, because of how ironic and poetic it is. You know what I mean? So it evolves.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a quick story because you'll appreciate this. Is there was a.
I like how you tell me what I'm going to appreciate, but I'm going to be the judge of what I appreciate.
You are going to love this story,
and buy my
or I'm
CD.
going to die trying. Okay, I think you'll appreciate this, and that is there was this little girl. I did a gig at a convention for years, and there was this little girl who used to stand by my table. She'd ask if she could help me sell CDs, and she would pepper me with questions. How do I sing? How do I write? How did you do that? Like, why did the audience get so excited? Where do you use a recording studio come from? How do you write a song? She would just ask these questions. She was maybe 8, 9, 10 kind of thing. And for 5 or 6 years, she was my little helper at this gig. I did the same gig every year for like 6 years, 7 years, something. And then I lost touch with her. She's 13, 14 last time I saw her. And then out comes that album, the Water album, which I think you brought home. I have a feeling that's the album, the blue one, the leaf. Yeah. So that song has Last Song on it. So in my salad days, I don't know what that phrase means, but in my salad days, I would sell thousands of a disc, sometimes before it came out, and Water had a couple thousand pre-orders from fans.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the album comes out, I have my assistant and I have a very fun and exciting and freaking expensive day where we go to the post office and spend a fortune mailing whatever it was, 1,600 discs.
Right.
And out they go, and you just kind of hold your breath and hope that it doesn't suck, because you never really know.
Right.
And like 5 days later, I got an email, and it was Emily, that girl. Oh. And she said, I don't know if you remember me, but I used to help you at your CD table, and you answered every question I had. And I want you to know I'm now enrolled in college, in music school, and I'm going to be a professional musician. And I just listened to your Water album that I pre-ordered. And I wanted you to know that if you're wondering if a child stands a little bit taller because of something that you said, the answer is yes. Love, Emily.
Oh, those are little angel kisses.
Right.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff.
Right.
It's like when you die and then people go and speak at your funeral and say stuff like that. It's so nice to hear it while you're still alive.
Right. So you see, I told you were going to appreciate that story. I
don't appreciate it. I just really understand it.
Fair enough. Good.
No, I do.
You resent it, but you get it.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And that was 2006. And I still remember it. That's a verbatim quote. And I'll never forget it.
So beautiful.
And it's the kind of feedback, I talk about this also on stage sometimes, it's the kind of there are people doing kind things all over the world every day.
Yeah.
There are, you could use a big word like hero, or you could just say, nice person doing nice thing. Holding a door, a nurse There's kindness all over the world every day, and almost none of it gets credit, and almost none of it comes back to tell the person doing it the difference they made.
And you know what's funny is when I used to do these 33-day Facebook Live programs, I just picked something like Mindful Moments was my first one, where I would try to be mindful, and I'd share what it was like.
Okay.
Or the next day I chose not to be mindful and what happened.
That's interesting.
And then I did another 33 called Coming Home, all about here and self-care and all that. But anyway, I would just do these and put them out right on Facebook. Right. Or do whatever. And then I remember hiking in Fryman Canyon, and my neighbor who lives a couple streets over who had quads. So she had 4 kids at one time. They all have special needs. Husband left, like just the ringer. But anyway, I saw her, and I just saw her, and I was like, Shelly. And she was like, Leigh. And she came over, gave me a hug, and she started crying, and she just said, you have gotten me through the darkest time of my life. Now I'm like, what?
Right.
You're right, because I forgot I even did stuff. Like I just keep going. And for her to take the time, it was such an acknowledgement that how I'm sharing my heart is being heard by someone who needs to hear it.
You had done that thing for that person.
Yeah.
Without knowing.
Without knowing. Right. And I was like, I just keep thinking I put things out there. I don't know people are actually getting something from it. So when someone takes the time to tell me, it almost makes me want to cry from a humble gratitude place.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful, yeah.
And then it also touches me because I realize how hungry people are to connect and to find love and to find a safe place.
Yes.
Like my daughter was to that.
Yes.
Just, that there's somewhere to go where you can give all of your hurts and your emotions and your cries that we hold so tightly to have a place to let it out, because really, if you hold it, it causes dis-ease in your body. I mean, you'll get sick.
Yes.
So it's so nice to get just like that girl.
It was amazing.
It's such a gift.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
and to people who are listening right now, if there's somebody who has touched your life, or something that you listen to, or somebody who you smile at every day that means something, tell that person.
Yeah.
Because it's such a gift if you've received from them to give back to them by letting them know that they touched you. Because that is the same as me wanting to applaud after a song, because you touch my heart, I want to give you back. People want to give back. People want to receive, and people want to be of service. People want to be of service too. Like people are dying to help people. Like you can.
They are.
You can see we have to wait for a tragedy for people to come swarm around to love and to help. Right? That's permission for them to be of service.
You keep quoting my songs,
No.
I have so many songs. I mean, I have a song that says this, among other things. We've all heard this kind of story. An earthquake strikes the coast of a distant land. Seems like every time we come together as humankind, we make a different choice. Kindness cuts through all the noise, and we're suddenly united. Why wait? Why wait for that pouring rain, for that hurricane? Why wait until it's too late? There is only today. Why wait?
Yeah.
There's references in the song to the fact that I've always thought it was funny that people are extremely hostile towards each other on roads, but then when an ambulance goes by, everybody cooperates and pulls over. Why don't we just always cooperate? I just read an analysis of why turn signaling has become less common, and the consensus answer the writers came up with was because now if you signal that you want to change lanes,
people speed up to cut you off
to prevent you from changing lanes. So asking them to change lanes gets a no. So people have stopped asking.
Isn't that interesting?
It's shocking, but
I think that's true. I have to say this, because I'm a big lighter. I always put my light on when I'm going to go.
Okay.
I never go over without it.
Okay.
I'll say for me, a lot of people slow down and make a gesture. And it's strange. It's strange. I don't know if it's because of my energy I'm putting out in the world or it's received. I don't get a lot of people
cutting you off.
And guess what happens when they do? Because I get a little bit triggered. I go anyway.
Right.
So I'm like this. Oh, you're going to be a jerk? All right. If I'm going to go anyway, right? I'm signaling. I see you speeding up, but I'm going. And if there's a collision, you hit me.
In the back.
Yeah.
And it's
so I'm going. So if you are going to pull up like that, that's your thing, but I'm still going. I told you I'm coming. I'm still coming, even if you're trying to bully me. I'm still coming.
Right.
And we'll see how it goes,
Right.
But I'm not going to, I don't know. But that's a little bit, instead of just letting it be, being at peace with what is, letting him go. Sometimes I do that. But sometimes
it's
I go.
safe to assume the Dalai Lama would let them go.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that. That feels the best. Well, no, it actually pisses me off while I'm doing it. Then I feel good after, like, you didn't have to join in the
fight, in the
energy of a fight.
Of acrimony, yeah.
Eckhart Tolle says that when he talks about we all have pain bodies, with our accumulated stuff. And he said that when two people's with their pain bodies are activated come to a light, they're 80% greater chance to have a collision, an accident, or get in a fight. So with two activated pain bodies, they're almost searching for something to fight with. But if you have somebody who's passive and someone who's triggered, they just let the triggered person go, the passive person. But when you're both...
then you're going to fight.
Then you're going to fight.
Yeah.
Which I think is so interesting. So I'm trying to...
not be
in it. But sometimes I'm like, sorry you're having a bad day, but I'm still coming.
Right.
Well, you can navigate that.
It feels like there's sometimes a self-respect component.
Yeah, I'm like, now this time I'm just going to go.
Yeah, no,
I see you speeding up.
Sometimes. In fact, we're in the process of buying and selling a house.
Yeah.
Buying one, selling another. And we have been repeatedly confronted with the question of whether to be badasses or hard asses about it, or be flexible, to be kind, or, you know what I mean? It's sometimes there's a push and pull between being self-respecting and being generous. Sometimes generosity can go too far when it's self-compromising.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, no. Then you're being like a
martyr.
Yeah. No, you have boundaries. But you have clear intentions.
It's not always easy to tell.
Yeah.
When you're giving too much. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. I always make sure I'm very clear.
Yeah. Okay.
What I need or what money if I was going to sell a house, I can't go under this price because of this.
Right.
But if there's two people bidding the same, I would go with the kinder one.
Actually, you feel like somebody who has very clear boundaries.
I do.
Yeah. For example, I asked you a question that was none of my business. And I knew it was none of my business. I was asking just to ask because the subject came up. And your answer was, that's not a question I'm going to answer. And I love that answer.
That's
it was very clear. You had no problem. You had no problem saying that. And some people would hem and haw. Some people would then overshare.
Yeah.
As a result, because they wouldn't want to look resistant to talking, or or you know what I mean.
But I lived in a boundaryless.
Got it.
I want to say Western frontier when I was young. There were no boundaries.
Okay.
And nothing mattered.
Okay.
And so I lived that a long time, and that wore me down.
So the pendulum swung the other way.
Yeah. So then I knew my worth. I knew my worth, and I knew, I'm worthy of boundaries. I'm worthy of not having to do what my role's been forever. I'm worthy. So I started doing boundaries with people, and it causes a lot of, especially in families, right? Because you
realignment.
If they want to realign.
Right. If they're participating. If they're open. Right.
Or else, screw you.
Right.
Who do you think you are? I'm a spiritual teacher. See ya. Ha ha ha. We hate her. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. You don't know what's coming. Yeah. But I don't care, because I know that I have to be my greatest advocate. Yeah. I have to be the one to stop the toxicity that I have allowed in. I have to be the one to stand in my power.
Yes.
And so things get really clear, like, that doesn't feel good in my body. That's not going to happen anymore. But trying to do it in a nice way. Yeah.
Or not.
If they're open to nice. Right.
Because sometimes nice also is mistaken for weak.
Yeah. I think when you know who you are and you are in your worth, it's organic.
Yeah.
So if I feel bad about myself, insecure, and I'm setting a boundary, and it is weakness. I mean, it's not coming from a place of power.
That's right. Yeah.
So the more I rise and I heal and I own who I really am, which we all are, these bright lights temporarily housed in these, what I call earth suits.
Yeah, okay.
This is all temporary, but what's in here is forever.
Yeah.
Our soul. That's connected directly to each other and to the energy of all that is. And then this is just temporary, limited human, So anyway, I'm just
definitely
like
limited.
So our brains are so ridiculously limited.
Yeah.
And so when I connect to this and I stand up in who I am, I can't help but show up in my power. I can't help to be firm with my boundaries. Yeah. Because it's not from a place of lack or unworthiness. It's like I say with the women's whole feminist business stuff that's going, the people are fighting for I never have to fight because I walk into a room of men. I own my space and my voice is heard in a place of I know my worth. I know what I have to offer. And I'm met equal because I'm showing up as an equal. I'm not coming in going, they're not listening to me. They're not looking at me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think there's just something about that, being in your power.
Yes.
And then you would allow clapping after.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. A few more years of therapy and I'm ready.
And I've done some good ass therapy and a lot of work on myself spiritually too.
Yes.
To get to own my freaking worthiness. Okay, we have 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Did you want to play a little more of that one song that you sent me?
I can't play it.
Why?
It's unplayable. I have yet to figure out how to play it. It is a rap. It is actually a tribute to some of the most uplifting classic
I love that
pop songs.
But before it...
Did you listen to it?
Yes. Yeah. Before it was kind of a song. Then you went into Billy Joel's... but his is all negative. And yours is all positive.
His isn't all negative.
Well, no, his is like war and thalidomide and we didn't fight the fire.
Does he refer to thalidomide in that song?
Yes.
I never noticed that.
Oh, I know every single word in it.
No, you don't.
Well, yeah. If I heard the song, I could sing along with it right now. Are you serious? Yeah.
My boy is trying to learn my rap for that song.
So when I heard your rap, it reminded me of that.
Yes.
But it's
the end of the world as we know it, and there are a few songs like that over time.
No, but it's referencing positive things and good things people have done.
Yes, my dream.
Not the things we had to overcome.
That's
like
right.
his.
My dream is I can't do the song yet live. The only thing I can do live is with the track.
Why the hell did you send it and say you were going to sing it?
I didn't say I was going to sing it. I just shared it with you.
Well, at the beginning of it was kind of like something you could play and sing, but then you go into the da-da-da-da-da and singing about all the different artists.
Yes. Okay, so here's what it is.
At the beginning, because the refrain is like...
Yeah. It starts like it starts like a pop song, I could sing about mistakes I've made, broken hearts and broken wings. I could sing about my aches and pains and the one that got away. But it seems to me the world has its hurts to spare. Shadows are everywhere. I decided I've cried enough. There's plenty of songs about tough luck. I'm gonna sing about love. Right?
Yeah.
And then the next verse is actually a personal reference to my family story, which because the second verse is I can't deny I still dream about the glory, the Grammy, and the gold. I cannot hide that I wish sometimes my eyes and my heart would close. But it seems to me my family escaped the war and they never sang anymore. They lost everything they had. And if a song is all I can give back, I'm going to sing about love. And the decision the singer in that song makes is, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my cue from a few folks I look up to. I'm going to sing about love. And then comes
goes about all the greats.
A rap. Yeah, Stevie Wonder sings in the key of life. Bobby McFerrin says, be happy, it'll be all right. Marvin Gaye, show the way, what's going on. It's a Wonderful World, thanks to Louis Armstrong. Soul Asylum saved those runaway kids. John Lennon, just imagining the whole world did. Right. John Denver took a sky with Tina Turner to the sea. Stevie Winwood to a higher love. John Legend to common to freedom. Pete Seeger's going to overcome. Bob Marley, just smile. The rising sun. Eminem will lose himself before the moment's gone. Miss Jackson knows the knowledge is what we want. Gloria Gaynor maintain that we're going to survive. Tim McGraw wants us to live like we are dying. Aretha got R-E-S-P-E-C-T, bet mid from a distance the whole world we see. Tom Petty, Free Falls, Leanne, Hopes, We Dance, Josh Groban raises up. If we're hurting, R.E.M. understands. Irving B, bless the USA. Van Morrison ushered in a brand new day. Whitney sang about the greatest love of all. Johnny Nash can see clearly now the rain won't fall. Pink knows we're beautiful. Christina does too. Rihanna sees us shining like a diamond. We keep walking like the Foo Fighters, fight the power, Public Enemy said. Miley is a climber. Andy Grammer keeps his head up. Bill Withers, we can lean on him. Natasha's unwritten. Taylor Swift shakes it off again. Lady Gaga was born this way. Jason Mraz, truly glad to be our friend today. The Black Eyed Peas, wonder where's the love. Desiree, gotta be. Journey, never stop believing enough. Shit. Simon, over troubled water, made a bridge. Elton John lit a candle for Diana, he did. It's the same love. Macklemore was moved to pray. Izzy made a rainbow with an ukulele. James Brown, loud and proud. Bruce Hornsby laid it out the way it is. Queen made us into champions. You too. Dr. King in the power of one. Sam Cooke made you look. Change is gonna come. Peter Gabriel ain't giving up on us just yet. We are the world. Saved lives. No star they couldn't get. Irene Cara, what a feeling alive. Pharrell made us happy. Katy Perry lit a firework in the sky. Carole King, we've got a friend. Switchfoot dares all to move again. Paul McCartney's words of wisdom were to let it be. And the weight of the world was taken off by Aloe Black and Avicii.
Okay.
So what am I going to do? I'm going to sing about love, and that was that's a decision that I
we are out of time, brother.
I unconsciously made that decision years ago, and have been doing it ever since. And that song is really a nice gift to myself because it distills the fact that trying to make the world a better place with a song is in a continuity of it's a long line of such songs.
Yeah.
So that's a tribute. My dream is that some of the people in that song come to be proud that they're mentioned in that song.
Well, I think that all dreams are brought to us to come to fruition. So
thank you. Yes.
Let's make that happen.
Yeah, because those people, they did something special. The song I mentioned 65 songs in that rap, and those songs are the songs that people are born to and die to and get married to and cry to and heal to, and they're legacy songs of all those people named.
I am so grateful you came on.
I am too.
I know that you can talk and share stories and do that.
I don't know what you mean. You're saying
forever.
I talk a lot and have a lot of songs?
I think you're fantastic. I'm happy I went to church that day.
Me too.
And I heard you sing, and I'm so tickled that you shared your time with me today.
Thank you.
And how can people find your music?
You mean other than the new songs? DanielNahmod.com. Nahmod.
Do that a lot slower, please.
I am 3/4 Polish and 1/4 Syrian, and my grandfather left me with an H.
Could you please?
Daniel, NAHMOD.com. DanielNahmod.com. The new album is called Sing About Love.
So go to his thing, order his music, check him out, and...
thanks for having me.
Yes. I like to hug after you. Up for a hug?
Of course.
Okay.
It's very, very boundary respecting of you to ask.
I usually just say, get your ass up and hug me. But there's a guitar between us.
You could have done that too. Yeah.
Oh, nice job.
You too. Thanks.
That was fantastic.